Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the psychology behind why we so often doubt our purchases. You know, like that ridiculously expensive blender you bought at 2 a.m. and have used exactly once? We've all been there. We're going to break down how the entire retail ecosystem is engineered from the ground up to solve that exact problem. Whether you're just an everyday shopper or you really want to understand the mechanics of wholesale and retail management, we're going to explore the hidden psychological triggers and the massive supply chains that shape everything we buy. Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll unpack the psychology of buyer's remorse. Next, we'll uncover the secrets to retail success, take a look inside the consumer market, and finally, go behind the scenes into industrial and reseller markets. Let's get right into it. So I want you to think for a second. Have you ever dropped a bunch of cash on something, walked out of the store, looked in the shopping bag, and immediately thought, uh-oh, did I really need this? It's a sudden pit in your stomach. And guess what? Retailers actually spend billions of dollars trying to answer that question for you.
Which brings us to Section 1, the psychology of buyer's remorse and understanding post-purchase doubt.
That sinking feeling in your stomach, it's not just you being indecisive. It actually has a formal name, cognitive dissonance. Basically, whenever you buy something that's expensive, completely unfamiliar, or just really important, your brain experiences this intense internal conflict. You start heavily questioning whether you made the right call. It's a well-documented psychological reaction to high stakes and high price tags. But what actually triggers this dissonance in the moment? Well, it's almost always an external factor. Imagine you buy a new phone, right? But then you start comparing it with a competing brand online. Or maybe a friend makes a slightly negative comment about your new jacket. Or you just find a cheaper alternative late at night. Even realizing the product doesn't quite meet your initial super high expectations can instantly spark that awful doubt. Now, for a retailer, this is an absolute nightmare scenario. Unresolved cognitive dissonance literally costs brands billions of dollars every single year. Because dissatisfied consumers, they don't sit quietly. They return products, they complain, they leave damaging one-star reviews, and honestly, the worst part for businesses is that they switch to competing retailers and just stop buying from that store entirely. Ensuring you stay happy after you hand over your credit card is absolutely critical for a brand's survival. So how do they handle it? Let's move to Section 2, Secrets to Retail Success, and exactly how retailers fix this problem. Retailers aren't just crossing their fingers and hoping you like what you bought. They actively combat your anxiety with a very specific set of tools. They give you incredibly accurate info up front to prevent false expectations. They offer warranties and really clear return policies, which basically act as a psychological safety net. Hey, you can always bring it back, right? Plus, strong after-sales communication proves they care about your experience even after they have your money. A generous return policy isn't just a company being polite, it's a highly calculated strategy to lower your psychological barrier to buying. Now, taking a step back, these 5 pillars right here are the absolute foundation of any successful retail operation. Customer orientation means they put you at the center of every decision. Effective merchandising ensures products are displayed and priced just right to catch your eye. Strong relationships and adaptability mean they evolve as your tastes change. When combined, these elements guarantee that your satisfaction isn't some happy accident. It's the core business model. If you remember only one thing from this section, make it this concept right here: value creation. You see, you're only going to push past that buyer's remorse if you feel like the value of what you bought completely overshadows the price tag. And retailers achieve this not just by selling a quality product, but by making the entire shopping experience so convenient and enjoyable that you literally feel like you've got a steal. Let's shift gears a bit. Section 3, Inside the Consumer Market, or where we actually shop. This is the arena we all know intimately well. In the consumer market, it's just us, individuals and households, buying stuff for our own personal use. We aren't buying to resell. And because of that, every single purchasing decision we make here is heavily driven by our own personal preferences, our lifestyle, our culture, and, of course, our household income. And to meet all those wildly different consumer needs, retailers use vastly different formats. Just look at this breakdown. You've got massive department stores giving you endless variety in one spot, specialty stores offering hyper-focused selections for niche hobbies, discount stores winning by leveraging high volume to drop prices. And then online retailers and direct selling businesses completely bypass the physical store altogether to reach you right on your couch. Each format is basically a different vessel designed to deliver that essential customer value we talked about. But there's a whole lot more going on before that product hits the shelf. Section 4, Industrial and Reseller Markets. Let's go behind the scenes of retail. So, while our consumer market runs purely on emotion, lifestyle, and preference, the industrial market operates on a completely different wavelength. We're talking business to business, or B2B. These are organizations buying goods to keep their own operations running. There is no impulse buying here. It's all about formal evaluations of a supplier's reliability, buying in absolutely massive quantities, and negotiating long-term ironclad agreements. Let's track how a product actually flows through this supply chain. Reseller markets act as the crucial middleman step by step. It starts with the manufacturer producing the goods, then a wholesaler buys them in bulk. Next, your local retailer buys from that wholesaler. And finally, you, the consumer, make the purchase. This whole chain exists because it drastically improves market efficiency. Honestly, wholesalers are kind of the unsung heroes of this entire distribution process. Look at a massive operation like Metro Cash and Carry. They take on the enormous headache of buying in bulk and managing warehouse storage so huge, it would make your head spin. By handling the inventory control, they reduce transportation costs and ensure that when you walk into your favorite local store, the exact item you're looking for is sitting right there on the shelf waiting for you. To see how all of this comes together in the real world, we can look at a company like Avon. They equip their sellers with serious resources, things like detailed sales reports to track what's actually moving, slick promotional materials, and performance monitoring tools. By constantly applying these customer relationship principles, they build serious long-term trust. And building that trust is exactly what prevents that dreaded post-purchase buyer's remorse we started this whole explainer with today. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought. The very next time you are standing at a checkout counter and you feel that familiar little twinge of hesitation, ask yourself, are you really just buying a product? Or are you stepping into a carefully crafted relationship completely designed to eliminate your doubts? Thanks so much for tuning in, and keep questioning the mechanics behind your everyday decisions.